What up, nerds? Top of the morning to you. My name is Leslie Smith. Welcome to the Nerdy Narrative. I am in green. You know what this means. It is March, St. Patrick's Day, which also means it is time for my March TBR. I'm looking at it. It looks a little small. That's okay. I'm trying to reduce the number of books that I am reading in a month to leave room for things that I am working on in the background, some future projects. One of which is going to involve my monthly TBR selection process. If you are a patron of the channel, you might remember being involved in some of that a few months ago. It takes a while to get these things going. I've got to start crafting on some things soon. I'm thinking June will be the first month that it kicks off. More on that later. Let's talk about the books I plan to read in the month of March. Let me start with things I'm going to be reading on my trusty Kindle, because if I don't, I will forget. First up will be Stringers by Chris Panettiere. It is published by Angry Robot Books, I believe coming out in April of this year. This is the arc that I will be reading. It's promoted as being a cheeky, snarky, alien sci-fi with superhero tropes. That was literally all I read, and I was requesting that arc. I can't wait to see what this one is about. I saw that my friend Eric from Break Even Books got this book recently to read as well, so I'm hoping to be able to talk to him about it as we go. Next on the list, also on Kindle, I will be reading Illborn by Daniel T. Jackson. This book has been everywhere. The hype is real. I am excited to read it. It is part of a huge birthday buddy read over on the Wizardly Duo Discord. I will have it linked below. There are a ton of people in that Discord with March birthdays. We started talking about this book and our birthday, and then all of a sudden turned into this huge birthday buddy read. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so much fun. Next on the Kindle, I checked out Skeleton Crew by Stephen King from the library. That will be the next short story collection that we will be reading. That is part of a read-along hosted by Jake over at the Bookish Drummer. I'm gonna have all that information linked down below if you would like to join. So if you missed out reading Night Shift with us, you can join us for Skeleton Crew. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what King's gonna do here. I'm trying to keep my expectations for King low going into the short stories. I didn't do a good job of that with Night Shift, but I really enjoyed that collection and I'm looking forward to this one. And then my final read on my Kindle is going to be Sterling City by Stephen Graham Jones. This is part of an unofficial read-along that's hosted over on She Was Only Evie server. I think she's gone ahead and read this one. I want to say I saw that in her Twitter thread of her Marie Kondo style of review, which if you don't follow Evie on Twitter, this year she decided she was going to do all of her reviews Marie Kondo style. So it's like, this did not bring me joy. This sparked joy. I love it. Absolutely love it. So that is all that I'm reading on my Kindle. Another library book here is this chunker, War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. This is a read-along hosted by Hannah. Her channel name just completely shot out of my head. Like, I saw it go out to the side there, out of the corner of my eye. Hannah's Books. I can see her clearly. I know her name is Hannah, but she, along with a few other channels, are going to be hosting a read-along of War and Peace. This will happen on the Literary Discord server. I'll have that linked below. There is a kickoff live stream coming soon. I will look that up and put that down below for you as well. This sucker is huge, and it looks like it has been used in at least 2 or 3 murders. I guess it's a popular book that people have checked out over the years from the library. It's kind of gross. Like, I'm going to be washing my hands after handling this book for sure. I'm excited to read more Tolstoy. I have enjoyed the things I've read by him. I've only read one of his novels, mostly short stories, but his writing style is just one that I click with. Next up is another read-along. This one is hosted over on the Discord server of Your Brain on Books, Baron's Discord. We will be reading Richard Chizmar and Stephen King's trilogy about Gwendy, Gwendy's Button Box, Gwendy's Magic Feather, which I believe was only written by Chizmar for that one. And then the final book, Gwendy's Final Task. I am so looking forward to reading this one. It's just laid out in a really fun format. We've got illustrations. I just like how the chapter pages are headed up. Like, that just enhances the reading experience for me. Do I have to have that? No. Do I like it? Yes. The next book is going to be a reread. The Goners by Elle Stevenson is the first book in the Boatmore Butcher trilogy. Book 2 comes out in April. A bunch of us that have read this book wanted to do a reread in March just to refresh everything. This will be happening over on my Discord server. Link is in the description below if you want to read this. It's a serial killer book. It's heart pounding. Your pages, you just can't stop turning them. I cannot wait to return to the island of Boatmore and read the story again. It's so good. I'm so excited. Next up, I will be reading The Tunnel by Joseph Sale. This is the second book in his Illuminod series, but his books in this series are standalones. I've read Dark Hilarity. I'll put that review up in the cards. But you can read this one without having read that one, and it's a great length. If this is a new author to you, but you want to try out Joseph Sale, this is a great length to try him out. The other thing that might make you want to pick this one up, remember how I just said I love serial killer stories? This one, so there's a monster on the loose in London, and some believe it is the reincarnation of Jack the Ripper. Sold. I was sold instantly. Do you hear me? And then my final read for the month of March is Piranesi by Susanna Clark. I've had this book for a while now. I'm very excited to read it. It is my patron pick of the month. I spun the wheel chose my patron Anne, and Anne took a look at my want to read books on Goodreads, and she gave me two choices. This was the one that I had the physical copy of already, so I went straight to this one. I am so excited. I cannot wait to see if I'm gonna love this book as much as some of my friends do. You know, on top of that, it is just an absolutely gorgeous book. Like, I am just going to enjoy every moment that is in my hand because I always take my dust jackets off to read my hardbacks. Look at that cover. Like, I'm going to absolutely have a ball reading this because I'm just going to get to look at this beautiful cover when I do it. And that's it. That is all of the books that I plan to read in the month of March. Now, of course, I'll still be continuing reading a short story every day. I don't have those mapped out. Like, I just kind of have them all here on a shelf in my desk. All the ones that I'm currently working on and the ones that I want to work on. And I just come up here and I just kind of see what kind of mood am I in. Am I in a mood for a classic? If so, do I want American classic? Do I want sci-fi? I've got fantasy, I've got horror, I've got Southern Gothic. I even have some nonfiction. So those you'll just hear about each week in my weekly reading wrap-ups. What are you all planning to read in the month of March? Do we have any overlap? Are you reading some of these books? Are you going to join some of these read-alongs with me? We would love to have you. Again, I'm going to have all that information linked down below where you can join the read-alongs. I will also have all of the books linked that I talked about if you want to pick one up for yourself or get it on your Kindle or from your library. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today and listening to me ramble about all of the things I'm excited to read in the month of March. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.